Is there any other nomination?
Yes, I said she can continue.
Thank you very much.
He can continue.
Mr. Hussain, you are duly elected as the acting chairperson.
Colleagues, thank you very much. Can we maybe just get started? We don't have too much of time. And may I just ask Shireen, just for the purpose of the record, to just run through the attendance of the members of the Portfolio Committee in the meantime, please. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Honorable Lutuli, we have Honorable Silius, Honorable Opperman, Honorable Tesa, and Honorable Slow.
Excuse me, Chair, can I ask the committee secretary to start the ref?
Just run through the members of the Portfolio Committee who are in attendance and just confirm whether or not we have a quorum, please. Did you copy me there, Shireen? Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, everybody. We have Honorable Clow, we have Honorable Lutuli, we have Honorable Brink, we have Honorable Opperman, and Honorable Tesa. And then yourself, Honorable Hussain.
Thank you very much. So I take it that we've got a quorum and that we can proceed. Welcome, everybody, and thank you very much. If I understand that the chairperson is going to join us probably in about half an hour to 45 minutes or so. So until then, I think we should maybe just continue with the agenda and make some progress. Can I just ask Shireen to maybe just, I don't have the list of the people who are joined us from Knysna. If you can maybe just introduce those names for me.
We have from Knysna United, we have Reverend Ralph Thunder, the chairperson. We have Mr. Neil Lowe, Ms. Leonie Passia, Ms. Avril Terblanche, and Mr. David Botha. From the municipality side, we have the newly elected mayor, Mr. Ulrich van Aswegen. We have the deputy mayor, Mr. Aubrey Sengwa. We have the acting municipal manager, Mr. Louis Skeepers. The manager, legal service and properties, Ms. Melanie Paulson. And then we have Kirsty Hawkey, the executive assistant in the office of the mayor. Then we have also within Cape Provincial Department, we have Mr. Graham Paulser, that's the head of the department. We have Ms. Ida Barnard, she's the Chief Director, Municipal for Performance, Monitoring and Support. We have Mr. Kamal Makan, he's the Director, Municipal Governance. We have Dr. Sandra Greyling, she's the Director of Municipal Support and Capacity Building. We have Dr. Gary Birch, he's the Director, Specialized Support. And then we also have officials from Provincial Treasury. Mr. Christopher Mapei is the Director for Local Government Revenue and Expenditure. And then we have Ms. Shanaz Kibido. She is the Deputy Director of Local Government Revenue and Expenditure. Thank you, Chairperson.
All right. Thank you very much. Colleagues, there's quite a list of people who are attending from Knysna and from the Western Cape government. Can I maybe just in one in one sentence, just welcome all of you and say you are very welcome to the Portfolio Committee. I understand that the purpose of this meeting is to attend to a petition that was sent through to us from the community of Knysna. And what I will then do, if with your permission and if everybody's satisfied, is that we will ask them to just do a very short presentation on the issues that they have brought to the attention of Parliament for deliberations at this Portfolio Committee. And then I will give an opportunity to the municipality and the Western Cape government officials who are also online to perhaps maybe comment, and then we will take it from there. Is everybody satisfied? We proceed on that basis?
Yes, Chairperson Hussein, but also to note the apology of Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma and DM Tau, who will not be able to join the meeting, but I'm here with the department officials also.
Thank you very much, DM Bapela. Thank you for being here. You are one of our stalwarts who join every single Portfolio Committee meeting, for which we are very grateful, and you are very welcome. The rest of the officials from the department as well. Thank you for being online and joining us. So
Thank you very much.
I'm not sure who is going to lead the presentation, who's brought the petition to us. Can I maybe just call on the NGO or the who's going to lead that presentation for us?
Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. No, thank you very much. Yes, no, this is something new to us. So, but thank you very much for the opportunity that we have to speak to Parliament and to speak to the nation. My name is Reverend Ralph Stander, and I will be speaking on behalf of Knysna United. First, I want to greet all the eminent persons who are Deputy Minister, all the members of Parliament, and all the eminent persons from the provincial government, and then also our new mayor from Knysna Municipality, and the deputy mayor, and everyone present. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Knysna United brought this matter to Parliament after it has gone to several institutions like the Knysna Municipality, the mayor, the speaker of the municipality. We went to the provincial government. We went to the Human Rights Commission, the public protector. We went wherever we could because of the situation at Knysna Municipality.
Sorry, Chair.
It all started with... Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Reverend, just hold on. Yes, go ahead.
Can we the face?
Maybe I might just say who Knysna United is. Knysna United is a community organization.
Yeah, Reverend, I'm sorry to interrupt you. If you don't mind to switch on your video, that will be helpful so that the members of the Portfolio Committee can just relate. They know what I look like, so but you are more important.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. There you can see I see myself now. It's way better.
Yes, that's much better. Thank you very much. You may proceed.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairperson. Now, Knysna United is a community organization that operates in Knysna. It was basically formed more than a year ago when the Knysna municipality started to introduce prepaid water meters in Knysna. And what was very strange to us was that the water meters was only pushed in the black community, and all the white communities were excluded. And we actually said, but no, that can't be right. So we actually need to do something about it. And obviously, we also had a big issue with the issue of prepaid water meters, because people, they don't even afford to buy prepaid electricity. And how would they be able to afford prepaid water? So that was basically our starting point, and then we took the matter to the Human Rights Commission also. But then we found that the Knysna municipality, they were pushing this prepaid water meter thing with such vigor that we were very concerned. And then we learned that the water meter tender the expenditure wasn't on the budget of the Knysna municipality for one. Also, that the Auditor General found that there was also not a tender for prepaid water meters. There was a prepaid water meter tender in Cape, and Knysna municipality just piggyback on the Cape Town City Council tender, which was also illegal because the Auditor General also against that. The municipality went and they acquired 4,000 water meters, and then right after that they acquired another 4,000, while the 4,000 water meters wasn't even installed. More than half of it was gathering dust at one of the of the Knysna municipality. So we said, but no, that's wrong. And they spent about 113 million rand on these prepaid water meters. So that is one of the main issues that we actually brought to the attention of the municipality in a mess. There was no mayor. There was a mayor elected last, and we are actually happy at least the political leadership at the municipality. In this SMMEs couldn't be used. They didn't, but millions and millions of rand are spent on consultants. Knysna is probably one of the municipalities that are spending lots of money, probably most money, on consultants at the expense of the poor communities and at the expense of service delivery. Now, what was very funny was that the CFO, who was supposed to look after the financial affairs of the municipality, he was the main person that was fingering in the whole thing. And with the CFO, who was supposed to look after the financial affairs of the municipality, he was the main person and also the regional secretary of the ANC. What was very funny. And with when the municipality confirmed the person to look after the financial affairs of the municipality, he was the main person.
I'm struggling to hear the presenter, Chair.
Yeah, I think your signal is a bit weak there, Reverend. And
I'm struggling.
Is it better now?
I think it's a bit better now. Can everybody hear? I think your signal is.
Yes, it was that jazz that was muffling the sound.
Is a bit weak there. And Reverend Sandra, if you don't mind, if you could just keep your camera still. So I think it's a bit better now. Can everybody hear? I think your signal is.
Yes, it was that jazz that was muffling the sound.
Reverend Sandra, if you don't mind, if you could just keep Keep your camera still. I think it's a bit better now. Can you where you get from I think your signal
That was muffling the wind.
Okay, so basically what I was saying was that there were lots of municipalities that spend on delivered water meters.
keep your camera still.
And those
I think it's a bit better now. Can you where you get from I think your signal
That was muffling the wind.
Okay, so basically what I was saying was that there were lots of municipalities that came with delivered water. The municipality piggybacked on the mandate from those textile city council. And the auditor general also found that they came up with delivered water meters.
Okay, so basically what I was saying was
So we were very suspicious on the way that the water meter issue was pushed by councillors and by officials, especially the chief financial officer. And later, found that the chief financial officer implicated the whole thing that is behind. We're supposed to look after the officials, especially the chief financial officer, but we were doing all the wrongdoings at Knysna municipality. And what is behind that we're supposed to look after the officials, especially the chief financial officer, but we were doing all the wrongdoings at Knysna municipality.
His camera so that
And what is
yes,
behind
incorrectly.
that
Can
we're supposed to look after the officials, especially the chief financial officer.
I think Reverend, I think keep your camera off because the signal seems poor and you might get a proper sound feed also. It's going to be difficult if the members don't hear your presentation and your argument, which is the core reason for the signal seems poor and
Is that better now?
proper sound feed also. It's going to
I
be
have
difficult. So if you don't mind, maybe just go back
very, very corrupt. Absolutely, Chairperson. Because the CFO there is said to have been involved with the regional leader of the ANC there on the prepaid matter. Can you tell us the status of those prepaid meters currently, Reverend, in terms of their working conditions, whether they are working or they are stuck in some depot somewhere? Thank you.
Reverend?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Do you want to maybe respond to that?
Okay, I will respond. Thank you very much, Chairperson. In terms of the acting MM, the acting MM resigned with a big bang, and then Knysna Municipality must be placed under administration, or that she should get executive powers to run the municipality. Basically, from our side, we have always been clear that we never wanted the acting MM. The acting MM has no interest in poor people, and our organization is basically pro-poor. We are pro-poor. So the MM, Knysna Municipality has an MM, Dr. Vatala. Dr. Vatala is also born in Knysna. Dr. Vatala is on paid vacation as we speak. And we understand there has been lawyers' letters to the municipality to say, but he should actually be back at his work because his 3 months have left, and the municipality didn't proceed in terms of charges against him. We believe that the charges are all just cosmetic charges and trying to cover for the CFO. In terms of the prepaid water meters, we don't have anything good to say about prepaid water meters, except that it is basically killing the poor people. And we have had many reports that prepaid water meters are not working, but that also at various places, people, the water meter company just came and they just installed water meters without the consent of the community. So I know that during the election campaign for National Parliament, the President of the Republic, he also came out very clear to say that the prepaid water meters shouldn't be done. Matter of fact, we also used one of the posters where the President was on to say, but see, the President is actually saying that they doesn't want prepaid water meters, but the Knysna Municipality prepaid water meters are pushed. And I personally also spoke to send messages to the President and also to the DSG, spoke various times to on this matter about poor people are even poorer in Knysna. And I see the honorable member, he knows Knysna, and the people in those areas are basically suffering much more now under COVID-19. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for that explanation. Maybe what I must do now is just give the municipality an opportunity to respond. I see there has been some information that they've shared. Let me then welcome the executive mayor. Is it Councillor Elric? To maybe just lead us and give us his response in respect of the complaints by Knysna United. Councillor, are you there?
Chairperson, Honorable Chairperson, yes, I'm here. I just want to make sure, good evening. I just want to make sure whether I should switch on my camera for you to start off. And if there's any difficulty in the audio, that I should therefore switch it off. Just want to make sure about that.
Yes, no, that's, I think that would be fine. Let's do it that way if there is a problem. But you're very welcome, and please, if you can share with us your version of events of what's going on there. It looks like Knysna United is not very happy with your municipality service delivery record. So let's hear what your response is. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. Good evening again, and also good evening to all the other honorable members, members of officials and members of the public, including Knysna United. Chair, as you quite rightly said, you've received a correspondence from the Knysna municipality in reaction to the petition and the letter of Knysna United.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if you have a presentation, you could share it on the screen if you would like to us to follow, ne?
Yeah, unfortunately, Chair, my apologies. I'm a bit disadvantaged, so let me rather not go there.
All right. Okay.
I'm from the old school. Chair, again, thank you very much. As I said, it was sent through to the office of the chairperson. And if other members didn't receive it, I apologize for that. Chair, just two things. One, Reverend Stander made reference to a lot of issues that was not part of the petition, but I would love to respond to some of them. Again, just to tell you or inform the committee who is with me tonight, it is the Deputy Executive Deputy Mayor, Councillor Ndoda Aubrey Chengwa, the Acting Municipal Manager, Mr. Louis Kiepers, and also our legal manager, Ms. Melanie Paulson. Chair, let me start. As I said earlier, our response would be to the letter that we received and the petition. So we will deal with the following issues. The one was Knysna municipality does not have a mayor. The other one was the suspension of the municipal manager. The other one was no or little service delivery is happening in Knysna. And then, Chair, the prepaid meters was a well-mentioned item by Mr. Stander, Reverend Stander, my apologies. Starting with the issue of Knysna municipality does not have a mayor. Chair, we acknowledge that since the removal of Mr. Mark Willemse, then Mayor of Knysna, after his membership was terminated by his party, the Democratic Alliance, the position of the executive mayor then became vacant. Knysna municipality that however have political leadership under the executive deputy mayor, Councillor Aubrey Chengwa of the African National Congress. The executive deputy mayor, acting in accordance with the powers conferred upon him in terms of Section 56(6) of the Municipal Structures Act, appointed a mayoral committee who exercised oversight over various portfolios. These portfolios were aligned to each directorate within the Knysna municipality. As a result of the pending litigation matter instituted by Mr. Mark Willemse against the DA, in a bid to have him reinstated, it was decided not to fill the vacancy until the conclusion of the civil matter. Judgment was handed down against Mr. Willemse in March 2020. As a result of COVID-19 regulations and its prohibitions on meetings of council, the election of a new executive mayor was therefore delayed. On the 11th of June 2020, Council elected Councillor Elric van Aswegen, and that's me, as the new executive mayor, not knowing, Honourable Chair, that within 72 hours I have to appear in front of your committee. The second point, Chair, is the suspension of the municipal manager. Now, following reports of serious financial challenges resulting from the breach of the fiduciary duties of the municipal manager, the Knysna Municipal Council resolved to conduct an investigation into these allegations of serious misconduct in accordance with the provisions of the disciplinary regulations for senior managers. The investigation was conducted by an independent investigator, Mr. Andre Swart of Stadler and Swart Attorneys, and not by the Executive Deputy Mayor or the CFO as was alleged. The disciplinary proceedings against Mr. Dr. Vatala has commenced, and charges involving irregular expenditure, acts of financial misconduct and other matters relating to a breach of the fiduciary duties of the accounting officer has been formulated. The proceedings against Dr. Vatala were not frivolous as alleged by the complainant. As the disciplinary proceedings are confidential in nature, we unfortunately at this moment cannot divulge any further information in that regard. The third one on the petition was no or little service delivery is happening in Knysna. These submissions, Honourable Chair, are unfortunately without merit and totally devoid of any truth. As a ward council, I know. We briefly set out here under a number of service delivery projects in our water, sanitation, roads, electricity, housing and water services sections. Grading and blading of gravel roads. Unfortunately, we have still a lot of those in our informal areas, especially in our African communities. This project has seen grading, blading of gravel roads in the following areas for the 2018, 2019 and 2020 financial years. In Kiruk, Etumbeni, Concordia West, Dinangwe, Belvedere, Slalani, and the Nutsi Road. Community projects in the 2018-2019 financial year. A massive community project which saw the upgrade of the White Location Sports Ground and Multi-Purpose Center to the value of 3.2 million rand commence. The project was 50% completed and rolled over to the 2019-20 financial year. COVID-19 caused delays in the completion of the project, although it is in well in advanced stage. We also completed the upgrade of the Honey Sports Field, the waste transfer station, upgrade of the Kaileto Library, and the ablution facilities in the CBD, the taxi rank ablution facility. The total value of these projects amounted to approximately 12 million rand. Bulk infrastructure projects. We further completed the upgrade of the CBD sewer and pump stations. The total value of this project was approximately 9 million rand. A number phased bulk infrastructure projects were also commenced with. The total value of these projects are in the region of 82 million rand. To list a few infrastructure projects for 2019-2020 includes, but is not limited to, the upgrade of the Honey Water Reticulation System, upgrade of the Knysna Water Treatment Works, the Charlesville Bulk Water Supply, the CBD pipe replacement, the Grey Street upgrade, still continuing. We also completed the electrification of a number of informal settlements with a total of 243 new connections. We have seen over 17,000 square meters of pothole repairs and over 9 kilometers resealing of tarred roads and 52 kilometers of re-graveling of gravel roads. We enclose here with spreadsheets with details of these projects. All of these projects are service delivery projects. There are also a number of ward-specific projects such as guardrails, access, ramps, installation of retaining walls, repairs to town halls, outdoor gyms, and the installation of CCTV cameras. From the above, we submit that there is clear evidence that service delivery to our local communities continues to take place through both grant funding and internal generated funds. Integrated human settlement projects. A number of housing projects are currently on the way within the Greater Knysna. A total number of 149 top structures has been completed, and a number of other projects have commenced or are at the state of practical completion. We had a visit today by the MEC for Integration Human Settlements in Knysna today. The MEC, Tertius. We attach here to a report from our Integrated Settlement Director to that effect. That is available at any time. SMMEs, makes no business. That was the other one referred to by Knysna United. We advise that a total of 67 million rand was spent on HDIs, which includes SMMEs and small-scale contractors for the 2018, 2019, and 2019-20 financial year. A total of 985,000 rand 112 was spent on SMEs and small contractors for the 19-20 financial year. Chair, getting to the prepaid meters tender and allegations leveled against the CFO by Knysna United. Chair, safe to state that the prepaid water meter tender was procured in accordance with the provisions of Regulation 32 of the Municipal Supply Chain Management Regulations. We advise that this tender is currently subject to a forensic investigation asked by Council. We advise that allegations against the CFO leveled by Knysna United served before Council on the 19th of March 2020. These allegations will refer to the disciplinary board established in terms of the municipal regulations and financial misconduct. The report of the disciplinary board served before Council on the 11th of June 2020. The disciplinary board resolved that there was prima facie evidence of irregularities in the award of this tender, which warranted a further forensic investigation. Council at its meeting on the 11th of June 2020 resolved to appoint a forensic investigative team to conduct a forensic audit into the award of this tender and allegations of irregularities in the award thereof. As the matter is under investigation, we cannot divulge any further information. Chair, I didn't want to elaborate on this whole thing, but I just think I need also to raise an issue here. The water meters, quite rightly said by Reverend Stander, were a very contentious debate and discussions in our town. I just want to give the committee just a few figures on that, and that can also be sent through to you as additional document. We spent 62 million rand on water meters and not 113 million rand as stated by Reverend Stander. We purchased 7,500 water meters. 6,995 of them, according to reports, were received. Chair, I want to go further, but also state the following, that 5,000 of those meters has been activated. And I'm speaking, Chair, not as the chair, as the deputy, or sorry, as the executive mayor of Knysna, but as the ward councillor of Ward 6. We, in my ward, had interactions on a monthly basis with the constituency of Ward 6. Since 2017, on a monthly basis, I've reported back every first Monday of a month to my ward, explaining them what is going to happen and how water meter is going to work. Add on to that, Chair, I've also explained, and Mr. Stander was there, and I think Mr. Neela was also there. I explained to them that water meters will not be forced upon a community member. It's their choice. In my ward for example, Chair, a small percentage of the people in my ward did not have any water meters, so there could have not been water reading in that. My interaction with the municipality was quite clear. I might not need water meters in my ward at this stage, but if the water meters will be able to assist my ward, taking in cognizance that people receive accounts up to 203,000 rand for waters. If the water meters is going to address that, I will be in support of that. Chair, I can elaborate much more on the issue of water meters, but let me thank the committee that gave me the opportunity to respond in this regard. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Mayor. Can I maybe just turn over to the members of the Portfolio Committee if there are questions of clarity that you would like to raise with the Executive Mayor? Can I just see a show of hands, members?
Hi, Mayor. Hi, Chairperson.
Yeah, Honorable Pretty and Kaba.
Yes, Chair.
Trustee Eza.
Keza,
So,
Matlo, Becky Adebe with the R.
No, Chair, I just joined in now, so unfortunately I could not capture the debate, but as and when members ask questions, I'll probably get the sense and the feel, and then we'll take it. For now, I'll let it pass, Chair.
Yeah, sure.
Honourable George, Chair, I'd like to ask a question.
Welcome, Honorable George. For the benefit of the colleagues in the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Dion George had asked to participate as the constituency MP for that particular municipality. Honorable Utuli, is there anyone that I left out? No. All right. Go ahead, Honorable President Chaban Kaba.
thank you, Chairperson, and good afternoon, colleagues, and the local. I don't know what is the local municipality, or I don't know the Knysna. I don't know what is the status of this. What you call? I don't know whether it's a city or it's a local municipality, but I would say thank you for the presentation from the executive mayor and the deputy executive mayor. Yes, I hear him, but I couldn't want to pose any question to that presentation because he was keep on breaking. But in this one, I do have only two questions, Chairperson. The first one is that executive mayor talks about the forensic investigation. If the executive mayor may share with us a clarity that what was the finding of that forensic investigation, and also he talks about the Ward 6 where he come from, where every Monday is explaining. Hello. Every Monday is explaining about the water, how is working in his ward, in Ward 6. If I may ask from the executive mayor, because he was insisting about the Ward 6, what happened to other wards? How many wards he has in his municipality, his local municipality or city municipality? why he was insisting only his ward about the explanation in Ward 6. What happened to other wards? Thank you, Chair. Let me give the opportunity to other members to ask. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Teza.
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to be very patient in terms of Knysna because some of the issues we must get them as we go in terms of what happened there. So the constitution of the country says that in 139 1B, assuming responsibility to the relevant obligation in that municipality to the extent necessary to maintain essential national standards and meet established minimum standards to the rendering of the services. Now, prevent the municipal council from taking unreasonable action that is prejudicial to the interest of another municipality or to the province as a whole. Now, can the mayor explain to us or give us a standing point in terms of what he recommends the committee should do? What are his recommendations and what are his proposals in terms of what should happen in that municipality to bring about sustainable livelihood to those people most vulnerable in informal settlements, because that's what our point of interest. Whenever these things happen, Chairperson, respectfully, they hamper on the poor, on the poorest of the poor. So what would be his proposals in terms of that? Number two, I do not hear in his presentation we are in a state of disaster, according to the Disaster Management Act, which we are custodians of in this committee, which the department is custodian of. I do not hear him telling us what relations does this tender, or what impact did this tender have on the poor communities, and what did it have on the offense and the household and the households that are headed by children and the most vulnerable disabled peoples in his municipality. And what he, as he said here, he's only 72 hours. Well, he's a mayor for 72 hours, and if we can calculate there is a lot of seconds, Chair, and there's a lot of days and so forth. So we would ask him as a mayor currently, in terms of the needed support with regards to COVID-19 in that area. Where are the JoJo tanks situated currently? Where are the water tankers? What impact did this particular thing, this tender, have on those areas, on informal areas? And what proposals is he making in terms of the implicated persons in that tender to the committee in terms of what happened? So the other issue, Chair, that I want to tease on is a question of the political stability. Is there political stability in his municipality currently? And can he give us a picture of that municipality in the current state in terms of political tensions? Because there is an assault that was done by the CFO to a lady municipal manager. I'm worried, Chairperson, here in the committee we always talk about patriarchy. This society where men use their masculinity to posture and to maintain themselves in society as super beings than women. It can't be allowed. It will never be allowed. Not this committee, not a progressive people of South Africa can allow such things to happen. And can the mayor tell us if there is a case, there is a case number with regards to that assault, and what possibly follow-ups has made in terms of that? Yes, Chair, I think that I will come back. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Flo.
Oh, thank you, Chairperson. Executive Mayor, the Reverend, our Deputy Minister, and everybody present. I think the issue of Knysna, much has not been done to protect and service the interest of the community of Knysna. And also, my own observation was that I've realized that there is no serious leadership and governance, because there are a lot of challenges that is happening in the municipalities that include the weak responses or accountabilities to communities. This is also this is also affect the entire community of Knysna, because when I check, there is also inadequate human resource capital to ensure professional administration and positive relation between labor and management and councils. Those things are not happening in that municipality. Why, Executive Mayor? And also the issue of addressing the maladministration and poor performances in our municipality. The mayor, what measures of all the wrong things that happened in our municipality did you do in making sure that all the consequence management take their responsibilities and make sure that you discipline all the people that are doing wrong things in our municipalities? And also, where is your monitoring and evaluation? What is it that is happening in your municipalities? Because if in the present situation, there are people that are still having a problem of water tankers, while at the same time, they've mentioned here that they've spent something like 113 million rands, which is really take us to the wasteful and irregular expenditure in your municipalities. Then where are the people that were supposed to be doing, and also in getting an independent, you mentioned that you got an independent, what were you saying? You were talking about the
investigate.
Yeah, independent investigator. What the consequence management are doing in your municipalities? Because there are a lot of mistakes that you can see here, that they are the service delivery is not happening. Rather than giving the SMMEs those businesses, then you are giving those businesses to certain people that we don't know what is it that is happening. And also the issue of your consultant, the mayor, we need a clear explanation about that. That is your responsibility. And then I think yourself and the city manager were supposed to be telling us what is it that is happening in your municipalities, also on the issue of the municipal that has also gone and bought another 4,000 water meters, but they are not yet installed. And also, that is really wasteful and irregular expenditure in our municipality, and really we need a clear explanation of what is it that is happening. And with all this in our current state, I haven't heard you talking about how many did your municipality distributed food parcels in the current state of COVID-19. I haven't heard you mentioning that. So I'm asking myself, what is it that is happening in your municipality? Because now we were supposed to be talking the level 3 of COVID-19, but you never even mentioned even a single one. We need also a clear explanation about that, so that we can be in line with what is it that is happening. Because I've seen that the Reverend came with a letter and then complaining about the underdevelopment in our municipality. And then I thank you for now, Chairperson.
Thank you, Matlo. Honorable Dion George.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I think that the Reverend,
After George, Chair.
I think that the Reverend certainly does have cause for concern and complaint. When Dr. Grutz resigned as the acting municipal manager, she basically stated that the administration was unable to function and unable to deliver to the people. And in fact, we know that there's a serious problem in food support given the COVID situation. So it is fact that the administration is not delivering service as it should. In particular, the municipality ran out of money at the end of last year. They were unable to pay their staff. And then they needed to rely on a loan from the DBSA of about 71 million rand. Now, after Dr. Grutz resigned, because she said she was unable to actually work in that environment and unable to deliver any service, that loan was withdrawn by the DBSA. And she then at that stage called for the municipality to be placed under administration. Now, the provincial government had offered support to the municipality, not to place it under administration and dissolve the council, but basically to send additional resources from the province and from national to assist the municipality because it was not able to deliver. And that meant that there would be powers from the council that needed to be delegated to then the acting municipal manager at the time. Now, the council did not want to do that for whatever reason that they had. Perhaps they were concerned about the fact that they then might not get the salaries of the executive positions. I don't know. But they were not keen to do that. So the support that was offered by the province never came to pass. The loan from the DBSA, frankly, I don't know if we know whether that's going to come or not. So there's a very deep-seated problem in Knysna. And it is very clear that there needs to be some kind of a forensic investigation broader than looking just at the CFO and the municipal manager and allegations against them, but also the fact that how did the municipality actually run out of money? Because, it doesn't happen overnight. So that needs to be investigated properly by either the National Treasury or by the Provincial Treasury, because that's a very important thing to be done. So as I mentioned, there's a serious problem in service delivery, and especially now under COVID, that people that need support are not getting it, and that is not acceptable. So I would like to know how satisfied the mayor is that the council will not run out of money anytime soon or at the end of this month even. How satisfied is he that they would not run out of money? And also, why is it that the council does not want support from the province, given that they do not wish to place the council or dissolve the council? They merely want to support and assist the council. So I would like to know that, because irrespective of why the instability happened, it is politically unstable. We know this, and the history. The fact of the matter is that there are people in Knysna who are desperately in need of service. They're not getting it. And as this crisis bites more and more, the situation is not going to get better unless there is a very serious intervention. And we must take into consideration, as the Reverend has pointed out, that the poor people of Knysna get left behind here, and that is unacceptable. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Chair. Hello, Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to come back, please, before the answers.
All right. I will give you a chance after, and Nkosi Lutuli is the last speaker, then I'll give you a chance thereafter. Okay.
All right. Okay, Chair.
Go ahead, Honorable Lutuli.
Thank you, Chair. A lot of questions have been asked. I will ask only one thing from the executive mayor, that why he refused to take this municipality under section 1391B, because it seems as if it's not functioning at all. And then on the other side, what I would like to get a clarity, I haven't heard thoroughly what is saying about the prepaid meters, which were, because there were some other meters which were bought already, which was 4,000, and then they only used only half of it. The other one is still lying in their storeroom. And then over and above, he bought another 4,000 meters. What was the cause of those meters not being installed to the people who want water? Let me stop there, because all the answers, all the questions already were answered, Chair. I don't want to repeat the questions.
Thank you very much, Honorable Pretty.
Thank you, Chair, for allowing me to come back.
No, it's fine.
Chairperson, let me also insist to the question of Nkosi Lutuli, to the executive mayor. I want to ask the executive mayor, can't the executive mayor also address the issue of allegations on the selectively installation prepaid water meters? And also, I want the executive mayor share with us, what is the time frame of the forensic investigation into the prepaid water meter tender? Chair, if we can allow me also to ask to the executive mayor that under the circumstances, does the people of the Knysna local municipality has the capacity to provide quality service delivery to the people or to the citizens of Knysna? Because, Chair, if you can see this presentation, it doesn't say anything about that. Thank you, Chairperson.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Teresa.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, for generosity. I just wanted to ask if the municipality, from the mayor, just as a last question, if the municipality does have capacity to actually prevent corruption in the future. And if so, what are the systems in place to do so in terms of preempting and preventing corruption in that municipality, and the needed support and the needed services to the people? What would the mayor now do to prevent people from the spread of COVID-19? Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, before I ask you to respond, I just want to raise just one or two points with you and questions. May I just say to you that, I mean, I understand that you are 72 hours in office now, and you've inherited some of the problems there, which is quite understandable. But I think you will agree with me when I say that in the last election, when people elected you and the rest of your councillors in that municipality, they did so in the hope that you and all of you elected councillors were going to make their lives better. But from what we are hearing so far, it doesn't appear that that is the case. And you've already got forensic investigations running, disciplinary cases, there's allegations of maladministration, financial mismanagement. I mean, you know, it sounds to me like it's a mess. And I want to ask you a very direct question. As a mayor that's been just recently now elected, what is your plan or your vision to turn that situation around? Because surely we can't go on like this. I mean, people across the country know Knysna is a beautiful little town, but the political leadership to me doesn't come across as very beautiful in the way things are happening there. So I'd really like to hear from you and give you the opportunity to be able to say to the Portfolio Committee, as well as to the Western Cape department that's online, and Salga Western Cape is also on. We'll give them a chance just now to say a few words as well. But I think that the ball is in your court now to just give us and give the people of Knysna some sense of confidence that you have a plan to turn things around there. But because you can't simply continue like this. The second thing I want to raise with you is, if I recall the figures correctly, you said that you spent 62 million rand on 7,500 water meters. Now, if I calculate that very quickly, it amounts to about just close to about 8,500 rand per water meter. And if you do this exercise on your own and just look at what the price of water meters are out there in the marketplace, it's on average about half the price of what your municipality has paid. So something to me doesn't appear very kosher there. And I want to hear from you what your view on that is, and what action are you going to take against any culprit who have used the people's money to put it into their pockets or to line the pockets of some unscrupulous businessmen there, or whatever the case might be. But you have to provide that leadership and give us a sense of comfort that you have a plan to make sure that you fix things in that municipality. Then the third one, linked to the water meters as well, is that you said that you procured 7,500, but there was about 6,900 that you either received or installed. So there's still a shortfall of quite a number of those water meters. If you can maybe just explain where are those meters and what is the plan there? Those are the questions that I have for now. I just want to point out to you, Mr. Mayor, that you must please be mindful of the time, because we still have to give the Western Cape an opportunity to make a few comments, as well as Salga before we close. And I'm sure members want to leave the meeting before 8 o'clock. So please be mindful of the time. If you can try and respond within at least 10 minutes, but please make the effort of answering all of the questions that the members have asked. Over to you, Mr. Mayor.
Chairperson, thank you very much. My apologies if in my first presentation there was a breakup in audio that some of the honorable members didn't hear me. So I apologize for that. Chair, let me start, and I think I should start with the last one first, and that was Mr. George. Chair, I want to be quite clear, Chair. It's not the council that sat down and take a decision not to evoke Section 139 or the issue of administration. It's not the council's decision there, Chair. I also want to be quite clear that there was never in front of council an item, that needs to deal with that issue. I know that, and I want to be clear on this issue, please. The previous acting MM resigned, and in a resignation speech, she was quite clear by stating that she can't work under these circumstances because there are too much influence from external factors. Now, by external factors, I then understand it was structures outside the municipality. So that is the one thing that I just want to get clarity. Then, Chair, the municipality, on the issue of the loan of 71 million rand, I'm going to ask the current acting MM to respond to that. Chair, on the issue of political instability, Chair, the Knysna municipality, I will be the first person to agree, and probably Mr. George would agree on that. The instability in this municipality were brought on this municipality by the DA instituted actions against their own previous mayor. So when the previous mayor then started with litigation against the DA, it put this municipality, especially the council, under serious strain. That's why we had the deputy mayor chairperson to act for close to a year. So this municipality did not have a mayor because of the actions which the DA had with the then mayor, Mr. Mark Willemse. The deputy mayor then need to act in that regard for close to a year. So that instability, the council then tried then to deal with at the last meeting on the 11th of June, where I was then elected as the executive mayor. Chair, let me just get, and then I apologize to the honorable members if I've tried to write it down. I had a lot of questions. There was a question about, and I think it was Honorable Masiba, selectively of the prepaid meters, the installation thereof. Chair, it's not been done selectively. I can assure you. The municipal, to my knowledge, start with the installation of prepaid meters in the area that there was no prepaid meters. There were no prepaid meters in those specific areas. So the water was never metered there. So that's where it started. But again, Chair, I want to re-emphasize, not one household were forced to take a meter. Even those people that doesn't have meters, not one of them were forced. It was a decision by themselves. So it was never done selectively. In fact, Chair, when some of the communities did not want the meter, the water meters, a white suburb or white community asked, why did you then install it in that specific area? Chair, the issue of providing services to the poor of the town. Chair, sitting next to me is the executive deputy mayor. He's residing in the poor areas. He's coming from that areas that is reference made of. And he would tell you what is happening in that specific areas. He's a resident there, he's born and bred there, and he would tell you. Chair, the issue of the water tankers, I was not quite sure what the question was there, and I will apologize on that issue on the water tankers. I know that there was an issue about water tankers in the fire, and that happened. And before I forget, Knysna's financial woes did not start just as an issue of maladministration or so-called corruption. It started way back with the fires, when a lot of businesses closed down. Remember, we're a tourist town, so a lot of businesses closed down then. So it escalated, and there was references or question about, and I think it was Mr. Dion George, that raised the issue of the municipality that ran out of money in December. Chair, I've got all the facts in front of me. Yes, we were, and the CFO could assist with it. Yes, in December last year, we had problems on our cash flow. We did not borrow money to pay our creditors and our staff. We used of our investments to do that. As I said earlier, the 71 million rand, I'm going to ask the acting MM to explain that part. Chair, what has been done to protect the community of Knysna? What is our accountabilities to the people of Knysna? Chair, it is a legislative requirement that every municipality, it is our constitution, we're quite clear on that, has the responsibility to protect their communities, especially the vulnerable. So therefore, Chair, for example, when a person perceived as indigent, that person
I don't know, maybe it's me, it's priest.
Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, no, Cesar, I think it's your issue.
It's only you, Cesar. We are here.
Chair, my apologies.
Well, come back, Honorable Mutambi.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Can I continue, Chair?
Yes.
Chair, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. As I said, it is the responsibility of all municipalities to provide services to their communities. To protect our communities, for example, when it comes to water, the municipality provides 6 kiloliters of free water to all those people that is indigent, the poor people. But not only do we give water for free for those households, but every other household in the municipality gets 3 kiloliters of water for free to protect our communities, to make sure that the water is available. Chair, even on the issue of electricity, we provide 50 units of free electricity to vulnerable and poor communities to make sure that we assist them, like all other municipalities. So, Chair, it is quite clear that we might not be perfect in that regard, but as a municipality, we try to assist our poorest community to the best of our ability. Chair, addressing the issue of maladministration, that one, Chair, I would love, with your permission, just to ask our legal manager to give a synopsis of all the legal issues currently and disciplinary actions that is currently in the municipality, and the reason for that, if you would allow her to do that.
Yeah,
and then I respond to others also.
Mr. Mayor, I'm soon going to hand over to our chairperson, Honorable Mutambi, but may I just point out to you that there are a few questions you haven't responded to from the honourable members, and some of them were very specific. If you're giving it to the some of them, that's fine. But also, there was an opportunity for you to address the portfolio committee on your vision for turning that municipality around. You are on mute. We can't hear you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, that's better.
I was going to get there.
Oh, okay. So are you done, or are you going to come back?
No, Chair, I'm not done. Let me just, some of the questions will be answered by Mr. Louis Skippers and the legal manager. Chair, you've asked a very important question. And that is the one that basically means, what am I going to do as the executive deputy mayor? Chair, inherit a municipality with a lot of problems is not an easy task. I'll be the first person to accept. When people congratulate me in taking up this position, all of them say, I don't want to be you in that position. And I accept that, and I accept that. I could recall once when a person said to me, Meneer, you've got a lot of challenges. And my response to him was quite simple. Challenges is not my biggest fear. My biggest fear is disappointing the people out there. Because the people of Knysna is tired of the instability. The people of Knysna is tired of the negativity. The people of Knysna is tired to hear and to listen on social media and other spaces about all the negative things in this municipality. This council, I can assure you, Chair, when there's any references to any allegation, the council follow the procedure legislation as required in dealing with those things. Rome, Chair, was not built in one day. But I know that the spirit of the municipality, our officials, our councillors from all political parties want to make sure that we turn around Knysna. And therefore, Chair, we adopt a turnaround strategy in this regard. We engage with the province, the Western Cape, on this issue. We engage with today, and the acting MP will also inform you. We engage with Provincial Treasury. How are we going about in turning around the ties in this municipality? So we put in place, Chair, as I said earlier, a turnaround strategy for the municipality. We made sure, Chair, that we take our communities with us because that is important. But I also want to end this by saying, Chair, we will need the support of everybody to turn around Knysna. And Knysna United know that. We not only need their support, but your support as national government, the provincial government. And I believe, Chair, Knysna will get back to where it was. I will give now to the Deputy Mayor because he just also want to add to what I've said. And then, Chair, Mr. Louis Skippers and the manager, legal services. Thanks.
All right. Can I just point out the time pressure that we are under, and of course you must please make sure that all of the questions that were raised were answered. So once we finish with the municipality, then I will then hand over to Faith Mutambi, Honourable Faith Mutambi, and then we've still got the Western Cape, and the DM is also online who might also want to comment. So please try and conclude if you can, at least within the next 5 to 10 minutes with the responses. I will be very grateful. Thank you.
We'll do so. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much, Chairperson of the session. Good evening, everybody. Chair, mine is going to be very simple. There was a question raised around the assault of the ANC chief whip. Really, can you hear me?
Can you take your seat, please?
No, thank you very much, Chair. Can I proceed?
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, Chairperson, thank you very much, man, once again. Good evening, everybody. Chair, I'm just going to deal with two issues. One issue, I think before I get to the one of the chief whip which was assaulted, I think I need to make it very clear. There was an allegation here, because we, as the standing committee, must remember these are allegations which cannot be proven at any case. Number one, that these water meters are only installed in the poor areas or northern areas where poor people are living or are staying. I think I need to put it categorically clear that the Knysna United is misleading the committee there. I mean, in all the wards, Knysna is having 11 wards. I mean, out of 11 wards, I think 9 wards water meters are installed. It's only Ward 9 and Ward 10, which the council have taken a decision that water meters must also be installed into those 2 wards. In all the wards in Knysna, water meters are all over the show. That's one area which I wanted to clarify. The second issue, Chairperson, it's a very serious allegation which is made here, that a chief whip of the ANC was assaulted by the CFO. There's absolutely no such, Chair. I was in that meeting, I was in that caucus. No CFO which have assaulted anybody. Now, the chairperson of Knysna United is really misleading you. And I want to put it categorically clear. I mean, service delivery in Knysna, I mean, it's taking place in all the areas. Where I'm coming from, Chairperson, I'm staying in the poor area. I'm coming from those areas. Services, I mean, are taking places there. I mean, we've got water. I mean, we've got tar roads. I mean, we've got almost everything. You know, I think let me stop there. And I just wanted to clarify those 2 things. And I want really to urge to the committee. The committee must not forget. These are allegations which cannot be tested. And I want to appeal to Mr. Stander. After the session, you must ask the evidence. He must put evidence on the table. Because these are allegations which cannot be tested. Anyhow, Chairperson, I wanted to speak to one last issue. But I think let me stop there. As I deal with that thing of GBP. Chair, I think it's important for me to mention this thing. You know, one issue which makes Mr. Stander very, very angry, it's a tender which was awarded by the suspended municipal manager, which is his friend, Dr. Vatala, irregularly. That tender was awarded wrong. And that tender, which Mr. Stander is currently benefiting out of it, I mean, as we speak, and now Stander is working in only, benefiting out of that tender. That's why he's fighting like a small boy. Sorry for my language. So I think I must also make that one very clear. You know,
yeah. Deputy Mayor,
the Deputy Mayor to sit properly, family, so that we can see him. Yes.
Yes.
That's better. And you must calm down. Calm down.
Okay. Thank you.
Sit properly and relax.
No, thank you. No, I'm worried, ma'am. I'm worried about time. My concern is time, and I must really apologize. But the other thing which I want to make it very clear. Yeah, he spoke about Vatala left, right, and center. They suspended municipal manager, right? Now, the reason why Mr. Stander is up on arms, and I'm saying to the committee now, all these allegations which have put it there, some of them cannot be tested. I remember when I started acting as a mayor here, they came here with a small Toyota of 15 people. They handed me with a petition. I mean, with the very same allegations. What I've done is to say, Mr. Stander, we have received your allegations. What you need to do now in order for us to process these particular allegations, give us evidence on the table. You must remember here we are running an institution. We are not running a tuck shop where everybody will run into the office of the mayor complaining. And when it comes to that particular person to give us evidence, is running away. That's the problem. The last thing which I want to say, there's a tender in Honley of housing. I mean, the company which is building houses there. Mr. Stander.
Your microphone is gone on mute, Deputy Mayor.
I'm mute, Bo. We can't hear you. What do you hear about the tender?
Deputy,
Can you hear me now?
yes, that's better.
Relax.
No, fine. Let me repeat for the last time.
And then
Sorry for that.
Repeat it. What relax?
No. Basically, what I'm saying, and I must say it for the last time. Unfortunately, in Knysna Municipality, the mayor is quite right. We are running an institution here, and I think I must also repeat to say, I mean, he mentioned here local areas like Khobolo, Lovet, Lokasi, and Concordia. That's where I'm coming from. Mr. Standa is not staying on those communities. He does not even understand as to how those people are living. I'm coming from those particular area. I grew up there. Services from this municipality are provided to those communities. Those people are having running water. We've got electricity. We've got tar roads. We've got the roads are paved. We've got almost everything there. But the last point which I wanted to tell the committee, and the committee must remember, these are allegations. These are allegations, and I want the committee after this session to appeal to Mr. Standa to provide them with the evidence so that you guys can start with your investigation if you are going to investigate, some of the stuff which have been said. But the last thing which I wanted to say, currently as we speak, there is a tender, a company called JPP, which works in Honley. Mr. Ralph Standa is working on that company. He's working there on that company. That company was awarded by the suspended municipal manager, Dr. Batali. Have you captured that?
Deputy Mayor, I'm going to interrupt you now because you are not answering the questions. You are now dealing with other issues that were not even raised. And
so what was the question?
That's you don't even know the questions you were supposed to respond to. So that's why you are dealing with all sorts of other issues. Now,
Chair, I think I've answered the question.
What is the name of the company? The name of the company of the tender, house tender.
JPP. JPP. Can you hear? JPP. Write it down.
Thank you. I hear the JPP. Okay.
Thank you very much. That's the name of the company. And Chairperson, once again, the question which I must address here is the assault and allegation that the CFO have assaulted the chief whip. And I'm saying that's a blue line. Mr. Standa is lying. I must in that meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, you wanted Mr. Skippers to respond to some questions quickly. And again, I'll point out to you, we are running out of time.
No, thank you very much, Chair. The acting MMA is there.
All right.
Good evening, Honourable Chair and Honourable Members. My name is Louis Skippers and I am the Acting Municipal Manager. I will respond to two of the questions that were asked. The first one relates to the DBSA loan, and the second one relates to our interaction with Provincial Treasury and dealing with the financial position of the municipality. So in respect of the DBSA loan, I think it's important just to put on record that the DBSA does not fund operational expenditure. So the DBSA funds capital projects in municipalities, and this is what the 71 million rand loan is for. It's for capital projects in the municipality. It's not to fund the operations of the municipality. So just where that loan is at the moment, the DBSA's risk committee, after having taken cognizance of the situation in the municipality, was worried about instability in the municipality, and we had a meeting with them on Monday where they asked us various questions around the stability and what is happening in the municipality at the moment. We answered those questions to their satisfaction, and they will take those responses back to their risk committee that is sitting early next week. And according to the people in the DBSA that we spoke with, they foresee no problem with the loan being released and the money being paid over to the municipality. So that is the situation with the DBSA and the loan at the moment. We expect that loan will be disbursed to the municipality next week after the risk committee of the DBSA have sat. Just in respect of our interaction with Provincial Treasury, we had a very constructive meeting with Provincial Treasury today, and we reflected back on a diagnostic that the Provincial Treasury, together with the Provincial Department of Local Government, has done in the municipality. What is left now is for implementation of the matters that flow from that diagnostic. It is so that the municipality is facing financial viability constraints. This is a result of a few things. The 2017 fires in the municipality has left an impact on the financial viability of the municipality. COVID-19 obviously has also left an impact on the municipality. This is a municipality that is highly dependent on tourism for its economic activities in the municipality, and it is suffering tremendously. It is suffering even more than most other municipalities because of that. So what we will have to do in order to get the municipality back to financial sustainability is, from an economic perspective, make sure that we diversify the local economy so that we do not have all our eggs in the tourism basket like we have it at the moment. Obviously, there are internal issues in the municipality that we need to address that impacts on its revenue raising capacity. This deals with it has to do with the ability to raise its revenue, the ability to implement proper credit control measures, making sure that we have the right skills in the right places within the municipality. But those matters are all under consideration at the moment, and together with our partners in the provincial government, both the Provincial Treasury and the Provincial Department of Local Government, we will be addressing those matters. But it's important for me just in closing to say that one of the abiding themes of our discussion with Provincial Treasury today was that we need to get local solutions to the problems. It will not be incumbent on the municipality to expect our provincial partners to provide the answers. It is the local municipality that must provide answers to the situation that it is in at the moment. And I am confident. I've only been recently appointed. I've only assumed my position recently, but I am confident that we can turn the ship around. It will take hard work from both the political and the administrative leadership in the municipality. It will take having partnerships with individuals and institutions in our communities, and also partnerships with the provincial government and our national government partners. So I'm quite confident that we will be able to turn the ship around. I thank you, Honourable Chair and Honourable Members.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mayor, are you done with all the responses now?
Chair, no, I think the legal manager just need to respond. Sorry to interrupt you, Chair. The legal manager just need to respond on all those legal issues and disciplinary actions which questions were asked by members of your committee. Then, Chair, just, and I didn't want to respond, your calculations about the water meters is quite correct. That's why I've also done those calculations. That's why that is currently under investigation, Chair. And as I said in my submission, seeing that it's currently under investigation, that it will be, as I said, as the matter is under investigation, we cannot divulge any further information. There's a lot of things that might come out of that investigation. But your calculations, Chair, it adds up because I've done the same calculations. Chair, I'll give now Ms. Melanie Pawson just to enlighten the committee on the legal and the disciplinary process that took place in the municipality. Thanks.
All right. Can we do that quickly, if you don't mind, please? Melanie Pawson?
Chair, thank you, Chair. With your indulgence, I'd rather not put my camera on just so that I don't break up.
Okay.
One of the honourable members asked on the procedure investigation that Council has resolved on the 11th of June. The legislation requires that investigation to be completed within 30 days of appointment. So the legislation dictates how long we have to conclude that forensic investigation. Secondly, Chair, and with the indulgence of the Mayor, my office was reassigned duties during COVID-19 to attend to relief aid in Knysna. We can report to the committee who asked questions on relief aid to the communities. We have decontaminated and continue to decontaminate all public areas on a weekly basis. We are also still to this day vetting and awarding vouchers to the value of 350 Rand to persons in need of food aid. We also received about 550 million Rand from Premier Windy, which bought about 1,500 food parcels that we have delivered to vulnerable communities and affected persons. And the figure is actually quite higher of the food parcels. And together with Rotary Knysna, we are still sending out vouchers value of about 3 million Rand. So our relief aid is continuing, even though we are on level 3. We accept that a number of our people are employed in the restaurants and hotels because we are a tourist town. That's why we are continuing with relief aid.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to now hand over to Honorable Mutambi, who is going to conclude the rest of the meeting. Honorable Mutambi, are you there? Our good chairperson. We seem to have lost her now. No, she's not online. All right. Let us then maybe proceed until she gets back again. Let me just invite the Western Cape Cocta. Mr. Polsa, are you online? And give you an opportunity.
Sorry, Chair.
Good evening.
Yes, Nkosi Luthuli.
Sorry, Chair. As the executive mayor is talking, I think sometimes it will be proper to write it down, all those things, so that you can see it. And that, because I don't think that, Chair, we're going to finish up today about about that deliberations with Knysna, because there are certain outstanding issues we want to ask about it, but just because of the time constraint, we can't do it. So with your indulgence, Chair, that's what I'm appealing to you.
Yes, I agree. Mr. Mayor, will you be able to do that for us?
Chair, yes, I will definitely do that. We've got my assistant that is currently writing down what's happening here and all the questions here. Because of COVID-19, the fact that we are sitting all different in different offices. She's sitting in Sesfield at home, I'm sitting in Knysna. But they do take notes and questions and they write it down. And we will respond to the committee in writing on all those questions which the committee want to raise to us. Thanks.
Thank you very much. We'll make sure we follow up that with you. Mr. Polsa at Western Cape.
Good evening, Chair, Honourable Chairperson, members, DM, the Deputy Minister, as well as the Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and colleagues, senior officials of government. Good evening. Chairperson, with your acquiescence, what I want to do is I just want to deal with 3 matters. We do have an exposition of what's happening in Knysna in terms of our understanding, but I'm mindful about time. So the first thing is that the allegations of fraud, corruption, and maladministration were received by the Office of the MEC in the province. It has been forwarded to us, and based on that, we have written to the municipality to ask for additional information. So if you look at 106 of the Systems Act, when the MEC actually becomes aware of any allegations of fraud, corruption, and maladministration, the MEC must write to the municipality. So the MEC does not have discretion. So the MEC has written and asked for additional information on all the allegations of fraud, corruption, and maladministration that we have received. We did forward that to the municipality. And in this province, we have our own, what we call our own act. It is a Western Cape Monitoring and Support Act of Municipalities. It's Act 4 of 2014.
And ourselves and KwaZulu-Natal have similar legislation in place. And in terms of that legislation, we then proceed to investigate all allegations of fraud, corruption, and maladministration in municipalities and so on. If not, the Commissions Act apply and so on. So we, as I say, Honourable Chairperson, we have written to the municipality to request additional information and to bring that to the attention of the municipality. We've given the municipality 30 days. And I had personally some courtesy call to the previous acting MM just as a reminder that the MEC is waiting some of the information around the allegations. We haven't received any documentation around it. So the MEC has written again to the municipality and asked them within 7 days to provide all the relevant information around the allegations of fraud and corruption at maladministration. What we normally do, Chairperson, and that's in line with the legislation, when that comes to the MEC, there's a full assessment, whether there exists prima facie evidence of fraud, corruption, and maladministration. And if the minister is of the view that there is evidence of it, the minister then designate forensic investigators to go and independently investigate the allegations around fraud, corruption, and maladministration. So we're at that point where we're waiting for the documentation of the municipality, and on assessment, and the MEC is of the view that there should be forensic investigators appointed. I think the MEC will then proceed with appointing independent investigators to do the forensic investigations. And these the matters that the municipalities have raised and that the United Knysna raised, those are all allegations that are contained in the letter that we have issued the municipality. So that is in terms of the allegations of fraud, corruption, and maladministration. So we have that matter in hand. And I also understand that the municipality has taken some resolution to investigate the matter also around the water meters and the appointment of the particular company. That is also part of the allegations that we have written. My discussion with Michelle Grutch, the previous acting MM, indicated that all those documentation was forwarded to us, but we've checked our offices and that information is still outstanding. That in relation to the allegations, Chairperson, there's another matter that we've also dealt with. So there has been a number of acting MMs. So the previous MM, not the previous, but the MM by the name of Johnny Douglas acting, has asked us in 2018 to do a diagnostic. A diagnostic implies that we actually go in with some of the provincial departments, including the provincial treasury, ourselves, led by ourselves, and then environmental affairs and development planning, economic development, and we go do a full assessment of just the governance matters, the finance matters, service delivery of the municipality. We then at that stage provided a report, and at the point that the matter had to be presented to council, I think Dr. Vitala was then appointed. We had extensive discussions with Dr. Vitala, who was the municipal manager, and offered our support and developed a support plan. And Dr. Vitala indicated that he will proceed on the implementation of that support plan again. Michelle Grutz was then appointed now recently, and she approached the provincial government to do again a diagnostic. We've done that diagnostic, and we've completed diagnostic, and I think the MM Louis Skeepers has also made a reference to that diagnostic. So diagnostic has made several findings around the governance, service delivery, financial matters in relation to the municipality, its administration, its HR, and we've made certain recommendations as to how to implement and to deal with some of the findings made in diagnostic. That diagnostic has not been presented to the council as yet, and obviously we will engage with Louis to see to what extent possible we can make that document available to the council. So based on the findings, Honourable Chairperson, of that diagnostic report, we then proceeded together with the Provincial Treasury to say, let's put a full support package together for Knysna Municipality. And that's in terms of Section 154 of the Constitution. And as part of that support package for Knysna, we suggested that it would also include a a financial recovery plan for Knysna municipality, given the financial challenges that you've heard both the acting MM, and the mayor, honourable mayor, has spoken about this evening. So we are of the view, whether you call it a support package or whether you call it a turnaround strategy or turnaround plan, that Knysna, in our view, is in need of something like that. And the province already, and municipality in that regard. If it implies that we must actually put a team together to assist Knysna, we will do so. But I think the support or the turnaround plan that the acting MM has referred to, inclusive of a financial recovery plan, is important for Knysna to restore Knysna to his original glory as it was in the past. Chairperson, Honourable Chairperson, what we've also done, we've given you a PowerPoint presentation on the findings and recommendations of the diagnostic. But those are the three matters that we are dealing at the moment. Firstly is the allegations, and as I said, we are busy with that. Secondly, it is the diagnostic, and then last is our work that we're doing in terms of the constitution to say that we need to support and assist Knysna municipality in the form of a support package. We also then work together with the national department to help us, so we don't do it on our own. Between the provincial government and the national government, the two departments, obviously together with the provincial treasury, we then put a support package together, or whether you want to call it support plan, and we go and assist. And obviously so there has been, the previous MM has made reference to a administration and intervention. In our view, we can also do the support package without the necessary intervention or putting the municipality under administration and so on. And we, of course, wanted to attempt to support the municipality first in this regard. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. I see we've lost Honourable Mutambi again. Maybe let's just proceed. Salga, Western Cape, is there anything you wanted to add very quickly? No, there's the chairperson is back. Honourable Mutambi, I'm in your hands now.
Proceed with Salga, will come when question time arrives.
Okay. Salga, Western Cape, where are they? Khalil.
Mulachi.
Good evening, Chairperson and honourable members. It's Khalil Mulaji here. We don't have anything to add. I think we will piggyback on the work that the Provincial Department of Local Government and Provincial Treasury is doing. Given the circumstances of the municipality, we haven't been directly involved with the work of the provincial government. We have been supporting the municipality on a range of other issues, which is related to HR and land issues. But once the support plan is unpacked with the municipality, we will identify areas that we can provide support to the municipality. Thank you, Chairperson.
Honourable Mutambi, over to you.
Thank you so much for standing in for me. Sincerely appreciated. I wish you could proceed with this meeting. Then, can I see a show of hands of colleagues who want to interact with the presentation by the Western Cape local government? Yeah, that's the only thing, because Salga just said they are supporting, they will await the work that is being done by the provincial local government. To appreciate your presentation, HOD, then I'll see the show by show of hands who wants to interact. I know, Honorable Wilson, we were a bit challenged by the vision that you were sharing. This is your opportunity now to also say something. Can I see colleagues who wants to? You will be the first one, definitely. The other colleagues? Honorable colleagues?
It seems like they're watching the president now.
They are not all there.
No, we are
Are
still
they-
here. We're struggling with the network.
Oh, Tessa, I've noted you. Who else want to raise questions? So
In fact, we are here, Chair. Chair. The main thing is that they are not saying anything. The Western Cape is
No. Raise your hand. I've noted you. Raise your hand. You'll say that. So you are number 3. Ndawezi Talutulu. Who else want to interact with the presentation? So it will be those 3 hands. It will be Honorable Hussein, Kleza, and Ndawezi Talutulu. Let's proceed in that order. Honorable Hussein.
Yeah, Chair, thank you very much. I've listened carefully to the responses from the Western Cape government as well as the mayor. And I mean, I'm encouraged somewhat by some of the progressive suggestions to try and turn the situation around. But I think Honorable Dion George raised an important point earlier, which I want to return to, and it relates to a much broader investigation into the affairs of that municipality. I mean, Chairperson, notwithstanding the fact that there is a plan to fix the problems, I do think that we need to get to the bottom of who caused the problems in the first place and who must be held accountable for it. Because often what happens in these situations is that, you know, municipalities fall apart, and that's largely because of human beings who are not acting responsibly for whatever reason. And in the end, you know, it's not those officials or the politicians who suffer the consequences, it's the people who are actually keeping the municipality alive, the ratepayers. And it just can't be right that that any official or any politician within the municipality has brought the municipality to this situation or this state. And granted that, as the acting MM has mentioned, that there have been some other contributing factors, which we understand. But notwithstanding those contributing factors, there must still be, as far as I'm concerned, some accountability for any of the politicians, regardless of who they are, from where they're from, including the officials. And people who steal the money must go to jail. It's as simple as that. They shouldn't even be occupying an office in that municipality. And the same must apply for politicians. So I really want to hear from the Western Cape government. What actions are you going to take to get to the bottom of the mess that's there? And what are you going to do to hold those people accountable who have caused this situation? We can't just turn a blind eye and overlook it and move on to the next agenda item. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Hussein. The next speaker on the list is Honorable Kleza, if his connectivity is sorted now.
Yes,
Honorable
I think it's
Kleza.
sorted. Am I clear, Chair?
Okay. Yes,
Can you hear me, Chair?
You are. Proceed.
No, thank you very much,
yes,
Chair.
I can hear you clearly, loud and clear.
Thank you so much, Chair. My problem is one, with regards to Western Cape Province, how could this have happened under your watch as a province? Do you have capacity to preempt these things, Western Cape? Because out of all the things that you've said, which I've not heard because I was the system threw me out. Out of all those things that you've said, do you then have a capacity not to react only when there is a crisis? Because right now we are seeing a crisis, the financial crisis. We're seeing a political crisis, political leadership crisis. We are seeing a service delivery crisis of the things that the water meters that have not reached the communities as they should. Do you have capacity to preempt these things? And secondly, Chair, and lastly, what are the role of impacts in those municipalities to actually hold the executive accountable? Because it doesn't look like they did see these things in front of them. What is the role of MPEGs? You know, because we can't just. I don't think that the municipality must pay people that do not identify these things when they are happening, and then we'll find a province that will come only when there is a crisis. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
What were you saying? Now it's your turn. Unmute your mic. You are on mute. We can't hear you. Yes, now we can hear you.
I'm nearly saying that although we are talking, but we can't get out into a deep so that we can able to find out the really truth. So at this present moment, when the HOD was speaking on behalf of the Western Cape, is still waiting from them to hear, to receive those documents stating out all those allegations. So really, to me, it's too difficult to say something, because even themselves, they didn't even satisfy themselves by finding out and diagnose exactly what is happening in this in the Knysna municipality. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, I can agree with you 100%, Nabezita. Looking on this presentation, maybe the reason why this high-level diagnostic assessment was conducted during May is not shared with us is by virtue that is not yet shared with the municipality. Is that the understanding? That's number one. Number two, when you read on slide 3 of the presentation by the local government, the Western Cape local government, there is this, it makes reference to the findings of the diagnostic report as developed in 2018 that were never adopted nor the action plan implemented. Is the province able to share this report with us so that we can be able to understand the nature and the extent of the problems in the municipality? Because you further qualify it that should those recommendations have been implemented, the municipality will in all probability not have found itself in the current challenging situation. Those are the issues that one wanted to deal with. I should believe then as members who are still going back to deliberate now on the matters as raised by in terms of the petition by the other colleagues, the people that the relevant team, and also having had the responses from the municipality, I think there is a room for engagement, further engagement, so that this matter must be resolved. But for now, my focus is solely on these issues of the intervention by the provincial local government. So that's why I'm trying to say, like what Nabezita is saying, I don't, from where I'm seated, given this, I think I need to be taken in confidence, or is the report going to be shared with us, or what, given the circumstances that it was just concluded now in May. So that's the issue that one wanted to understand. Over to you, HOD and team.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. I will also ask the Chief Director, Eda Bana, just to respond in terms of diagnostics and how we've dealt with the diagnostics in terms of the approval of council or considering the diagnostic reports. So just on the first question of the Honourable member was saying is that We are actually, if we can, the fact of the matter is we get all the allegations. We do a thorough assessment. And based on that assessment, we then write the terms of reference for the forensic investigation. That is a formal forensic investigation. And we worked in very closely with the South African police, the Hawks, and the public prosecuting authority. We're working with them. So what we normally do is the MEC will designate at least 2 forensic investigators. We, the department, will pay for that, and we do a full-on investigation. That report is then given to the minister. The minister then provides it to the mayor and asks the mayor to deal with it in council. And at the same time, we will also then give that report to the Hawks. The Hawks will do a further investigation in terms of any criminality. And then if there is prospects of prosecution, we will then also deal with the Directorate Public Prosecutions, which will then consider any prosecution. So in my view, we are now busy with at least 2 municipalities. And there are councillors and senior officials in those municipalities are implicated. And criminal charges have been laid. And so I suspect that some of them will be arrested very soon if they have actually found to be guilty in terms of or compromise in terms of any allegations of fraud, corruption, and maladministration. And that's a way that we work with the Hawks, South African police, together with the Directorate Public Prosecutions and so on. So it is an entire process, the forensic investigations. It does take time. And what we do is we do a thorough investigation. Sometimes we've got evidence, or our forensic investigators have evidence to prosecute. But then obviously the Hawks or the Directorate of Public Prosecutions, based on certain technicalities, decide not to prosecute. But at the end of the day, people are actually found guilty and obviously jailed. So I don't want to speak about the 2 municipalities where we are currently busy. But as I say, senior politicians or councillors and senior admin officials have been implicated in that regard. I think why we've said just on the honourable member Kesa's in my view, I think we do have the capacity to support Knysna municipality. And based on a support plan or a turnaround strategy or a support package for Knysna, we can definitely provide support to that municipality, whether that is in terms of home bodies. We can do that, and we've done it for other municipalities where we actually go in and we put the entire team together to help implement that support plan in that municipality and so on. And we largely, if the municipality can't implement it, then obviously in terms of the legislation, the provincial executive then takes the responsibility to implement that support plan and so on. In our view, I think the MECs have limited powers to intervene in municipalities. We have gone in terms of the 139 legislation and have written our own provincial framework in terms of interventions and putting municipalities under administration. The National Department for Cooperative Governance has done the same. They've also gone and put together a framework to regulate the interventions in municipalities. We are of the view that there must be mechanisms and legislation that would enable a sooner and a quicker intervention into municipalities and so on. But our primary responsibility is to provide support and assistance to the extent that we can to ensure that we actually turn around matters in those municipalities. We obviously do we've got an M&E system between ourselves and the Provincial Treasury. Provincial Treasury monitors the finances. We monitor the governance stuff and so on, and service delivery. And based on that, we will engage the municipality on any challenges with regard to governance and service delivery. It's for that reason, Honourable Chairperson, that I've personally gone to Knysna on a number of occasions to deal with some of the challenges in that municipality. And if Ira Barnard now speaks, you could see that some of the elements that were raised in the previous diagnostic still persist. And we were at the time ready to help and assist that municipality. Honourable Chairperson, what I suggest is the municipality itself did not have sight of that, the latest diagnostic report. I think it will be proper that we only provide council the opportunity and the municipality the opportunity to engage that diagnostic report. There are many findings and there are many recommendations. And based on those findings and recommendations, we have already put together what we call a support plan for that municipality. So in the event that the municipality is amenable for us to assist and help, we would provide assistance to the municipality. But with your acquiescence, Honourable Chairperson, can I just ask Ida just to quickly talk about the two diagnostics?
Sure, thank you. This is what we want to hear. So who's gonna be talking on that?
Ida?
Chairperson.
Oh, Ms. Bernard.
Chairperson.
Okay.
Chairperson.
Hello.
Chairperson. Is Tessa?
Yes.
Can they please answer my question on MPEX, please?
Okay, they will do that. Let's first deal with the one that Ms. Bernard had to deal with. Maybe the impact part come from there. We'll deal with that if you realize that all the questions are not answered. Ms. Bernard?
Chairperson, thank you. Actually, Honourable Chairperson and members. I think, Chairperson, I saw in your hand that you do have the presentation that we made available to the committee. So with your blessing, I will just take you to slide number 3, which deals with the previous diagnostic, Chairperson, that was conducted in 2018. So just in terms of a little bit of background, at the time, we were approached then also by an acting municipal manager at the time to ask us to do this diagnostic assessment. And maybe just for the committee members to note what this diagnostic...
For clarity's sake, since 2018, how many acting municipal managers have been there up to date, as far as you are concerned? At the time, there was an acting MM prior to the appointment of the current MM, I suppose, who is currently on suspension. Is that what you are telling us?
Okay. Honourable Chairperson, can I maybe attempt? I think not necessary in that in terms of the time frames, but there was Grant Easton. I think Grant Easton, he was one of the municipal managers, and then I think Johnny Douglas was acting. And then there was a person by the name of Dr. Cam Chetty. He was appointed as municipal manager. And I think he also left, and then Johnny Douglas came back as acting. He was acting for a while, and then after the municipality appointed Dr. Fatala, Johnny Douglas then left. Dr. Fatala is currently still there, but he's on suspension. And then obviously, while Dr. Fatala was on suspension, Dr. Michelle Grutz was acting as municipal manager. And obviously she left last week. And then obviously the existing MM, Dr. Louis Keppers, has been appointed as acting MM. So I think he has been appointed Thursday last, if I'm correct. I'm speaking under correction.
So it's just a week. It's less than a week old, Mr. Louis Keppers. Okay. So that's what we wanted to understand, so that I think it's assist us as a committee to understand the extent and the nature of the problems that are there. So can you proceed, Ms. Bernard? Kleza was counting to tell me it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mine is 8. Yours is 7. Okay, 8. Sure.
So we were asked by one of the acting municipal managers at the time, Mr. Johnny Douglas, to come in and do this diagnostic assessment. So how it works, Madam Chairperson, is we put together a team consisting of ourselves, the Provincial Treasury, Department of Housing, Environmental Affairs, whoever are the departments that has a role to play. We visit the municipality for a few days and we literally check everything in terms of their operations, and then we come up with findings in terms of what is functioning well and what's not functioning well, and then we also come up with a support plan to fix the things or to improve the things that may be not functioning that well. So we went in 2018, Honourable Chairperson, and just to indicate that at the time, the following things were identified just as a high-level findings, and I want to just draw the attention of the committee to that, because if you saw the presentation that we prepared for this evening, you will see that's more or less the same things. That's why we're saying the messages are quite persistent. It says to stabilize the leadership team, both at the political and at administrative level, to try and fill the outstanding critical vacancies. At the time, there was also community dissatisfaction, which needed to be resolved. They had some cash flow issues. There was a lot of outstanding disciplinary issues, and there was also some issues pertaining to the planning tribunal. So, Chairperson, we finalized the report. We presented it to the MACO. They then appointed a municipal manager, and to our understanding, Chairperson, some of these recommendations have not been implemented to date. And then we were then later approached during May this year by the acting municipal manager, Dr. Gratz, to repeat the process and to undertake a diagnostic assessment again. And what the members can see from the presentation that we prepared is that some of the findings are exactly the same. In actual fact,
Miss Bernard.
Yes, ma'am.
When did the acting MM approach you again? When was it?
It was in May this year, ma'am.
May this year.
Yes.
The acting MM, it's after the suspension of the MM, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually, the team responded quite quickly, ma'am, to finalize this piece of work. Yes. So, ma'am, then once again, we've raised some of the findings. The findings are more or less the same. In actual fact, we also found that there are some cash flow issues that the municipality is facing that was discussed a little bit earlier. Once again, also the high turnover in the administration is causing for the administration not be stable. So we've prepared quite a detailed report. As my HOD indicated, we must still present it to the council. But what we actually, Honourable Chairperson, are proposing is what we call a support package or a support plan that will stand on two legs. The first one is a financial leg to it. So that will be a comprehensive financial support plan with certain actions in it, which is detailed in the presentation. And then always the other leg stands on what we call a comprehensive package, and there we look at measures to stabilize the organization. So it says full critical posts, address some of the HR matters, some of the disciplinary matters, look at some of the service delivery issues. So the plan stands on two legs. Like my HOD indicated, we haven't yet had the opportunity to present our findings as well as the proposed plans to the council, but I think importantly on the presentation that we sent, maybe slide 12 is important, is to say what we are suggesting and proposing to Knysna is to say when we look at the urgency of these matters, it's recommended that the council consider the findings that was made by the team and also the adoption thereof of the plan that's standing on the two legs. And what we then do, Chairperson, importantly, is we come in together with COPTA, national COPTA colleagues, Provincial Treasury, Department of Human Settlements, and everybody that has a role to play in the municipality. We bring these resources forward, like my HOD indicated, the team that we then put together. So this is the proposal that we will be making to the council, Honourable Chairperson, and some of the findings and just more or less how it works. I hand back to my HUD, then Chairperson.
It's fair enough, Eda. It's fair enough. HOD, maybe before you come in, I have a question.
Honorable Chair.
Also, you will come. There is Keza also who needs to follow up. This question is not yet answered.
Right.
I have a question here to say, is it not a waste of resources? Because you are the one who are telling us 2018 you did this diagnostic report. Then in 2022 years, that report was neither adopted nor implemented. If it was adopted, it was never. In fact, it's your own assertion here on page. I saw that it's page what? Page 3. To say there was never adopted. No, the action plans implemented. Again, you went there again upon the request of the acting MM. There is an MM that is the mere fact that is on suspension is okay, but the issue is that MM, since the appointment, found this having developed, there was no effort to take this matter to council nor get the action plans implemented. Now there is somebody who's an acting position who's already gone now. In fact, there's another person acting. And then I'm trying to raise, this is not an issue of wasteful expenditure here, because I know it's time. The team that you assemble, as Eda has said, it involves a lot of stakeholders, HOD, traveling, time, with these people are supposed to be, and these are people that have good responsibilities in their own offices. To going there, maybe you must tell us now, because you are still going to take it to council for adoption. And the way Eda has put it, similar things that they've raised, like your own assertion on slide number 3, that had they implemented the recommendation of the diagnostic report that you gave them 2018, is still the same council, safe to say that, as you have said, it's only administration and maybe and the political leadership that has changed. So I'm trying to say then, what guarantee then makes you that this current one is going to be implemented? There's a and in that order.
No, thank you, Chair. My question related. Yes, Chair, I'm here. My question related to. Can you hear me? Oh my God. My question related to the municipal. Yeah.
You can switch off your video, you will be better. If you switch off your video, you can be better. Use the audio.
Yeah. Okay, my question is related. Can you hear me now, Chair?
Yes, I can. We can.
Okay,
proceed.
all right. No, my question, which was not answered, related to the municipal public accounts committee. What is its strength in that municipality, mayor and the province? Because such things like the tender irregularities that have been issued out, implicating some people that are part of the administration in your municipality, should speak to the strengthening of the municipal public accounts committee there in your municipality. What is its strength there? And going forward, Mayor, how would you put measures in place so that this particular mayoral committee structure can actually bite, can have some teeth in terms of clamping down on corruption? That's the one. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Hadebe.
Thank you. Yes, no, thank you, Honorable Chair. As I've indicated earlier on, my apologies, I joined the meeting very late because of the plenary that took place in Parliament. So I've missed out on some of the issues. The issue that I wanted to clarity on is in relation to what the HOD team has articulated in relation to the plan that will soon be tabled to council. And I get an understanding whether or not that plan has it been tabled to the political leadership of the municipality, the MACO, and if so, what is the fee or indication from the leadership? Are they buying into the plan? Because I think that before going to council, at least the political leadership of the municipality needs to indicate whether or not and interact with the plan so that to give guidance. Chair, I might not know everyone within that municipality, and as it been indicated that the acting municipal manager, it's only 8 days. Fortunately, I've once worked with him as a executive director, and I have faith in his leadership, given he's committed when I was a councillor at some point in another municipality. So hence, I'm interested in getting a sense of the view of the political leadership in relation to the proposed plan, because I believe that it's that leadership that we need to guide all the municipal council as an executive authority of the municipality. Thank you.
Okay. To you, HOD, then the municipality will comment. I think they will also comment on the functionality of the impact. But then mindful of the fact that in terms of your report, that's one thing that you've picked up, the issue of the dysfunctionality of the committees. But they will be able to tell us now that there's a new leadership, whether they meeting, the committees are meeting. But over to you, HOD.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. You're absolutely correct. The report has made findings and recommendations around the functioning of the committees. And that was also sort of discussed with the previous MM, who also confirmed that there are challenges with the functioning of the committees, particularly also the impacts within the municipality. We've made a finding in that regard, and I've made certain recommendations around it, and it will be part of the plan to support the municipality in that regard. Just with the last member's question, the honourable member's question around the plan, it's obviously that if the council or the mayor or the MM then so deems appropriate, we will present it to the acting MM as well as the MACO and so on. I mean, we're not going to just go and say we take it to council and it must be implemented and so on. And I think out of their own experience, they can actually augment the plan and actually also give the current acting MM opportunity and the mayor opportunity maybe to add additional stuff that should be part of the plan if they wish to do so. Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. Just on your question, Honourable Chairperson, around the guarantee, I think our stance is that we work together with the municipality, with the acting MM and so on. And I'm sure, given the last comments of the last honourable member, that the acting MM will support us in any support that we wish to give that municipality. So I'm confident that we will be able to assist Knysna. Obviously, I can't give any guarantees, but given my own relationship with the acting MM, I think we will pull it off. Thank you, Honourable Chairperson.
Okay. Over to you, Mayor.
Chairperson, thank you very much again. I don't even want to respond to the action about those 8 municipal managers, which you talked about earlier. But I just want to tell you, Chairperson, that if there's allegations against any official, council is obliged to take action. And unfortunately, those action leads to this type of situation where you've got more than one acting person in the situation. So we accept that as a reality. Chair, on the issue of impact, we've got a very strong impact in council. And a lot of these issues is currently under investigation by MPEC in that regard. So I know that sometimes it takes a long time to get answers, and some of the members of the public get frustrated.
Before you proceed there, can you tell us why didn't you implement the diagnostic report as submitted to your council in 2018? You are not new. You have been there. You were elected in 2016. Ne? Now I'm putting you on the spot, jointly and severally liable.
Chair.
Why?
It's not a question of why. That we did not do it. Some of that diagnostic report we still need to get to council. And secondly, Chair, we need to
the
accept.
2018 one.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that one now. We need to accept, Chair, that there was serious instability in this council since 2018. Serious instability. And I didn't want to mention it, but I'm going to do that. I was asked by, and I was not the mayor then, I was asked by a member of the business forum in Knysna, what do I think about putting this municipality under administration? And my response was quite simple. If you ask that question to me prior COVID-19, I would probably have said yes, because of the fact that we are for too long political unstable, and that creates other problems for the municipality. But we were standing in front of this business in the main street, and I said to him the following: do you see all those people sitting there in front of that shopping mall in the main street? And there was about 100 people sitting there. Unemployed, hungry people that because of COVID-19 have been put in that difficulty that they cannot provide a basic food for their people or for their family. And I said to him, if you ask me now, I'm telling you, putting this municipality under administration is not going to assist those people sitting on the other side of the road waiting for work. So, Chair, yes, I would agree with you that we probably did not implement it. There was a lot of things that we were supposed to implement which we didn't do, and I admit that. And that partly and primarily is because of the instability and all these disciplinary actions. You see, Chair, the last acting MM that she resigned. She was not fired, she resigned. And in her response and reasons given to council then was quite simple. I cannot work under this situation where there is always interference from external people. Not the council, not the officials. There are people outside there that put her under serious pressure and therefore resign. I was quite clear in my response to her. We should never resign under pressure of people out there. We should rather deal with the problems. So, Chair,
how does it happen that are you failing to govern your council so that external people then run your affairs?
Chair, I can assure you, and I didn't hear the full question there, but I can assure you that this council as it is now, of which I'm the executive mayor, we listen to our people. We hear what they have to say. But we're not going to put a gun against our head by individuals or institutions to take decisions. It doesn't work like that. We're an elected structure, and we need to listen to our people and take decisions where it is in their interest, not in a few people that want to force the municipality to take certain actions. We're not going to do that. As the executive mayor, I'm telling you, I will not be forced by people with their own hidden agendas to take decisions. Chair, on the question of, and I didn't follow the Honorable's name, but they asked about the plan. How does the executive of the council buy into the plan which is put forward by province? As alluded by the acting MM, we were quite clear that we need to, with the support of province, accept their commitment and our commitment to turn this town around, because we need our people to understand that we are serious in get Knysna back to the town that was mentioned by previous President Zuma. In one of his speeches, he mentioned Knysna to be one of the best run municipality. We will get back to that. And we know it's going to be difficult, but there's no way that I can tell you here that the spirit of this town and the people of this town don't want this town to get back to its former glory. So yes, we will going to implement all the agreements that we agreed with province and with provincial treasury, and make sure that the turnaround strategy is working for the interest of the municipality and the people of Knysna. Thanks, Chairperson.
Oh, it gives comfort. Honorable Adewe, your hand was up.
Yes, Chair. No, I wanted to say to the executive mayor, I think it gives comfort to get the sense and commitment from your side as a political head of that municipality. Like I said earlier on, I have faith in your acting municipal manager. Given what he has produced in the other life where we interacted with him, and I'm hoping he won't disappoint even this time around. So if there's that commitment, we are going to hold you accountable to your commitment. Ours is to play our effective oversight and ensure that when two bulls are fighting, only the grass that gets to suffer, which is the local community, and ours is to ensure that that does not happen. So we are really pleased and grateful for your commitment. I think you need to be given time and space to perform your duties. Would like to get a detailed feedback with timeframes and milestone projections of what is it that, because it cannot be business as usual when some of these things are dating back to 2018. But we understand that we have recently taken over, so we don't want to crucify the wrong Jesus, but you are inheriting all the shenanigans and lack of consequence management. So when we put this question, take it in that spirit that you are a political head. So you're going to be like Jesus and die for the sins of others. But we are, Chair, in closing, I'm having a sense of comfort from where I'm sitting. Thank you.
The way I understand it, the mayor is only 3 days in office. If we're not to calculate the weekend, including the acting MM.
Yes,
and
yes.
On that day, they proceeded with them. It was their first day in office. They were very lucky that the house didn't adjourn. But the reality is that over the weekend, I believe the mayor, the beauty about them, all of them, they are from the same institution. They know what are the issues. And then it's just that now they have this responsibility that they had to do now. They are responsible individuals, so they must take responsibility. So I should think this also give comfort to the HOD and the department, the Western Cape Provincial Department of Local Government, that there is a willpower, the will, and the political will in particular, to make sure that, so the undertaking that we are getting as a committee is that all these two reports, the 2018 report plus the 2021, there is a council meeting. I was told you were supposed to convene, you are going to convene a council meeting also, that you make sure that these two reports are adopted. From there, you need to develop a clear action plan with timelines, who's going to do what to address all the issues. I think then the provincial government can be able to share with us now the 2018 diagnostic report, because it's there already, though obsolete. And then such that when council also adopt this one, we get it from yourself, Executive Mayor, this one 2021, so that you share it with us, because this is a matter that we want to follow up as a committee. I was also then to follow up as a committee, then we'll again schedule a meeting with you in the next quarter. I think we're going on recess as Parliament from the 27th up to the 27th of July. When we come back, then at least you will have had time to settle and also attend to all these matters. You're gonna come and brief us now on the state of the municipality, your own situational analysis based also on the diagnostic reports in terms of Section 154 as conducted by the Western Provincial Department of Local Government. Then so that you come, so that we are able to address all these issues. Like you said, I'm inspired by your words to say you want to get things going. I think we'll watch with that. I think Honorable Hadebe has covered it mostly on that one. Then I should think now we need to come back on the, unless if some people have got other issues, we listen to both parties in line with the petition, because now the speaker wants us to adopt a resolution based on the petition. Honorable Hussein, I think you will assist me on the way forward, even listen to the both parties, or did you give the complainants the right to respond on what the municipality has said? Can I hand over back to you so that you deal with this, so that you are able to finalize the issue around the petition? Then I'll take over on the other matter. Over to you, Honorable Hussein.
Yeah, Chair, thank you very much. I think that that we've had quite an in-depth deliberation, and I do think it will only be fair to just give Knysna United an opportunity just to say a few words before I give back to you. And I think DM Bapela is also has some comments to make. So maybe I can ask Knysna United, the good Reverend, are you still there?
Chairperson, thank you very much. I am still here. And the chairperson, Matambi, thank you very much that you are also here. And thank you very much for everyone who participated. We are not going to respond on anything that has been said, especially not by the Deputy Mayor. We will put things in writing. But we are very confident that the new executive mayor, that he will definitely take matters up and that he will do the right thing. We also know the new acting MM. I know him personally, and I also know that he is a man that will do the right thing. So we are happy with his leadership. But we however maintain our position. The question would be, can Knysna afford for so many months two municipal managers? So we will just put it there, but we will, as you, we have one thing, I will be writing, and we will be sending something in writing to the committee. But thank you very much for giving us the opportunity, and thank you very much for your great concern for Knysna. And what I picked up is that you really want to intervene and that you want to get the situation right in Knysna. So thank you very much for that.
Okay.
Over to you, Matambi.
Yeah, I think then we'll have to consider the report as a committee based on what has been put before us. I should again indicate this to say once people write to the speaker, like we are dealing with this, is a petition that has been forwarded to us from the office of the speaker. And then once the speaker receives petition, normally what comes to mind then it's a sign and indicator, DM Papela, to us to say something. The municipality is not performing its function as it's expected to in terms of Section 152 of the Constitution. Yes, that's why you see us normally holding hearings of this nature. And to the Deputy Mayor, you must take it easy. For us to hold hearing of this nature is to just solely to get to the bottom of this matter. And then I can assure you with this committee of ours, there's no political grandstanding or politics. We are all united, both parties. It's one objective to make local government work. That's our motto here. And then when we deal with matters, all of us were concerned about the people on the ground that must receive the services from the municipality. And once we see a signal or a sign that shows that the municipality is not fulfilling its mandate, that's where you find us intervening. DM Bapela, I didn't see any representative from COCTA nationally here in this meeting. You can see Salga is here, even the deputy president of Salga is in attendance of this meeting. But I couldn't recognize any official from COCTA who's deployed in this province supporting the municipality. Ralph, is it you? Ralph, whose mic is on, and the executive mayor's mic. Can we mute the mic? Ralph S. and the executive mayor, can you mute your mics, all of you? Okay, thank you. So that's the point that I'm trying to say. Then in terms of this also, there is the report that we'll want to hear from COCTA nationally on the affairs of this municipality as to what is happening. But I know it's a multidisciplinary team, as the HOD has indicated, to say once you do these reports jointly, you do it with COCTA nationally. So basically, those are the issues, because we'll have loved to hear the input of COCTA as well. And we can see there's no one from COCTA. Yeah, maybe the DM will be able to give us feedback. Yes.
Person, DD Kevin Naidu is in the meeting.
Is he here?
Mm.
And is a deployee in the Western Cape, I suppose.
Well, he does do some work also in the Western Cape.
The Western Cape. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But he is listening, and we've been taking notes, and I'll just want to comment later once given an opportunity. Oh, okay, I should come in now. Okay. No, thanks, Chair.
I'm glad. Yes. I'm glad that he's here, because I tried to check on my list the attendees here. I couldn't pick him up. I don't know what happened. And he's here, you're very right. Unless he joined the meeting later after me. It's okay. Proceed.
No, he joined even before me. No, Chairperson, thank you very much. And then also to members of the Portfolio Committee, and to the team from the Knysna Local Municipality, led by the acting mayor and the acting MM and other people. It has been a very useful information that was able to be presented to the Portfolio Committee. And I did engage with Kevin Naidu to say, where is COCTA support in that particular environment? We have not yet initiated as yet a chairperson, but having listened to the information, and also the province also wanting to go and give the support, we will be engaging the province COCTA through the MEC and then the HOD with the Director General of COCTA to really begin to see what effort are they doing to support, and then obviously we can invoke 154 bracket 1, where then both levels, national and provincial, can go in and give that support. And I think even in the input, the mayor and the MM and the province were calling for the support that should be joined in by the national department, which is something that will be then taking home with Kevin Naidu, so that we could then begin to see this team going to help and then also supporting the municipality. And I think, as Minister did indicate to the portfolio, we have not been using much the 154 bracket 1, both as a national and province. We wait until things are as bad, and then we quickly go to 139 A, B, or C. And yet we could have used the 154 together to go and give whatever support, financial, engineering. It could be the capacity at the level of the MM if issues are there, or the functioning of the municipality as a whole, the council as a whole. We have not been doing that much, except just invoking 139 A, B, or C. And I think the minister did indicate that going forward, that's how we are going to be doing. Assess immediately, and then we have to move in and then arrest the situation before it becomes this a distressed municipality. And also, if the province is not performing its function, we still have 139(7), when directly the national department can just walk in and then begin to help directly to the municipality if the province is not performing its functions. But we hope, therefore, that together with the national and the provincial Cooperative, we'll be able then to go and help the Knysna municipality. And I think the team has given us hope. The new people who are 3 days in the office, they seem to be knowing what they want to do, where to turn things around. And then I think, I must say, I leave this meeting confident, and I think they will then need this from national and the province really to make the municipality function once more. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes, it's a breath of fresh air, DM. Thank you so much. Then I think then we need to excuse our visitors. The Knysna United, led by the chairperson, Reverend Stander, and the colleagues. Also, the Knysna Local Municipality, led by the executive mayor and the deputy mayor and the management team. Special thanks to UHOD and the team from Provincial Department of Local Government. Also to appreciate the 2 colleagues from the Provincial Treasury. I see you were never, so I believe you were acknowledged by the chair in my absence. We want to thank you, Ms. Cupido and Mr. Mapei, including the Salga Deputy President, Councillor Stofile, and the Provincial Director of Operations. We want to thank all of you for being part of this meeting today. Let's have indicated that we are going to deliberate on this petition and then report back to the Office of the Speaker based on our interaction, and we'll still await your written submission as you've promised, Reference Standard, that you're going to respond in other issues in writing. That will be much appreciated. Also, thanks for the confidence that you are trying to tell us now with regard to the current leadership of the municipality. So the issue of the petition then gets agenda. Can I request committee members not to log out so that we can consider and adopt the other petitions that we have already dealt with? So can we excuse our guests, the committee members who are remaining in attendance? You know all yourselves, DM, you're part of the committee, you know. We're just excusing the guests. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you, Chairperson.
You are excused. We are going to meet you again, Knysna Municipality and the Provincial Local Government in the next term, as I've indicated, for progress.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. We also thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Leave the meeting. Those of you who are supposed to leave must leave.
You don't know how to leave the meeting, Chair. It's
They
only
must
DM who knows. It's because he's not coming from Bundu.
Yeah, keep babes. I call him babes Wama Virtual. Okay, colleagues, I think I've checked. Mr. Stender, can you leave my meeting, please? Yeah, we are now back to the business of the day. Colleagues, there are, I think, if not 5 petitions that we need to deal with. The draft reports, The first one deal with the, I hope you brought them along. Remember, we were supposed to consider them last week, Friday. The first one is, there are 5. Let me just read them so that you know what are we talking about. The first one is on the petition relating to the Glen Marais substation fire incidents under the city of Ekurhuleni. The petition from Honorable Michael Waters. Then the second one is the petition pertaining to the numerous power outage in Boksburg and Jamestown under city of Ekurhuleni. The same submitted by Mr. Waters, Honorable Waters from the DA. And then the third one is a petition relating to public participation and legislative compliance in a proposed housing development in Alberton under the city of Ekurhuleni. This one was submitted by Honorable D. Bergman from the DA. Then the other one is the petition from the residents of Nelmapias Extension 22 calling on the Gauteng MEC for corporate governance, human settlement and traditional affairs to attend to their service delivery grievances against the city of Tshwane. Yes. Then the other one, being the last one, is the petition relating to the illegal occupation of stand 1/122 number 42 2nd Avenue, Alberton North, under the city of Ekurhuleni. Is the petition from Mr. Velibasen. Mr. Velibasen is a member of parliament as well. No, pertaining to the illegal occupation of stand 1224. Yeah. Yeah, this came from Mr. Bergman as well. So those are the 5 ones that I'm dealing with. With regard to the first one, on the draft report of the with regard to the petition relating to the Glen Marais substation, can we deal with it page by page? Page 1 are the issues that the colleagues want to raise. Colleagues, is page 1 okay?
Proceed, Chair. Silence means concern, if not confused.
And then let's go to page 2, the committee observation and the recommendation. Can I get a mover and a seconder of the report? The recommendation are that the city of Ekurhuleni must further investigate and research and report to the committee on the state of the civil connecting. I want to read 4.2 also. The city must report.
We have it, Chair.
Agree?
Yes.
We are moving. Can I get a seconder? The mover is Hadere DH.
Yes.
Supported by who?
I support you.
It's Phileas Brink.
It's
Supporting.
KC. KC and Giorgio.
Further, I see the mic of Honorable Bruno.
Sorry,
So
Chair.
are we moving to the next one? Yeah.
Sorry, Chair. No, I wasn't at that meeting, so I don't think I must second.
Okay, you realize that late. Okay, the second one is the one for petition pertaining to numerous power outages in Boksburg and Jamestown under the city of Ekurhuleni. Any correction or spelling mistakes or anything editing on page 1?
The content, Chair, is a true reflection. I'm not a fundi in grammar, but the content is key.
And then the committee observation and the recommendations.
A true reflection of what transpired. I move as a person who fully participated in the meeting.
There's a mover for the adoption of the report. Seconder.
I was also in that meeting, Chair, and it acted.
So it's BH Hadebe, seconded by K. Eza. We're moving to the next one. Petition relating to the public participation and legislative compliance in a proposed housing development in Alberton under the city of Ikuruleni. So there was progress on this one. So we welcome the good news on this one. Remember? So mover and seconder. Can we get a mover for the adoption? The report. Colleagues.
I don't want to make it my meeting, Chair. I move in absentia of colleagues. Perhaps they're still perusing, but I move.
BH Hadebe moving, seconder.
I second, Chair.
Inkosi Lutuli seconding. The next one is the petition pertaining to service delivery in Nelemapias Extension 22 under the city of Tshwane. Yes, this is the structure of the report and the response by the city of Tshwane on page 1. The committee observation and the recommendation. With regard to 5.3, the colleagues, you could have seen a response by the Human Settlement Department from Gauteng. It was addressing an irrelevant matter. We had since written to them for them to give us a clear action plan, because instead of them addressing the 1,330 houses that are occupied by those people with disability and the most vulnerable community, they were talking about the 550 rental hostels that are hijacked, instead of talking to the 1,330 houses that has been occupied by these people since 2009 or 8 years. So we had since responded to this correspondence. Until is there any feedback?
No, Chairperson, they have not responded to our correspondence as of yet.
So we'll have to follow it up. So I think the recommendation standard is that they should have responded by end of June 2020. Can I get a mover and a second? I was just giving you the matters arising on this matter.
Chair, can I just get clarity? Will this not be affected by the latest court outcome in terms of with the way forward?
No. The people's grievances don't get, because this is about the provincial government that is not delivering the services. It doesn't affect them delivering services. These are petitions. It has got nothing to do with the functionality of the municipality, whatever. More so in the meeting, it was very clear this is the sole responsibility of the Department of Human Settlement in the province.
Captured, Chair.
Sure.
Sure.
Mover and seconder. Mato.
Chair.
Yes. Is it Kaiser? Moving.
No, it's Brink.
Oh, Brink. Yes. Moving.
I think Matlo
We
wants
want-
to be moved, but I will second.
Okay.
Okay.
You can even move, Brink. There's nothing wrong with you moving. In fact, you are the mover. Matlo is the second.
Okay, but it was her issue, so I don't want to own it, but I will move.
Oh, yeah. On that note, then I agree. Okay. Honorable Tou, seconded by Honorable Brink.
Yes.
Yes. Then we're moving to the last one. The last one is a petition relating to the illegal occupation of stand 1/1224 number 42 2nd Avenue, Alberton North. Then the response from Ekurhuleni is on page 1. And then the committee observations there. Then the recommendation is that the committee should bring all stakeholders involved in Ward 37 issue, including the Gauteng, within 3 months of the adoption of this report. And then that from the city of Ekurhuleni, the executive mayor should initiate the process of starting engagement with all involved. And then the Gauteng Provincial Department of Human Settlement and Traditional Affairs must assist the executive mayor where required. Can I get a mover and a seconder of this report?
Yes, Chair, I move. It's a true reflection, given that the provincial government is the asset owner of that property. I move. It's a true
Department of
reflection.
Education.
Yes. I move for the adoption, Chair.
Seconder, who's seconding? Can I get a seconder? Who's the seconder?
I second, Chair. Opperman.
Oh, Honorable Gisela Opperman, yeah, seconding. Then that has made us to finalize the petition. Can we be reminded of the program moving forward, Shirin? What's happening when? I was trying to browse it quickly before we adjourn the meeting. It's very key that we remind the colleagues as to what's happening. Oh, I got it, yeah?
Yeah, because I saw, Chair, that tomorrow.
You have it,
Oh.
I have it now, yeah? Tomorrow is Thursday. We are receiving a briefing by Nelson Mandela Municipality on COVID-19 response plans. Then Friday, no meeting. Tuesday is the Western Cape Provincial Government on its COVID-19 response plan. Then Wednesday is the petitions from Zanini. And then Thursday and Friday, we are finalizing the deliberation on the local government municipal system amendment bill. That's how it looks like.
Yeah.
Was there a problem, Honorable Adebe, with tomorrow?
Then I'm saying we're looking forward to the Nelson Mandela Bay. Hopefully, we won't see the return of the Mac. No, on a serious note, but I will attend. It's only that the meeting is clashing with SCOPA. We are also receiving a briefing from ESCOM, but I'll prioritize this committee for obvious reasons.
Hey, for obvious reasons. I don't know what's that. Say that.
No, because
Tell
this
us,
has,
ESCOM, you are not letting question ESCOM on,
yeah, no,
on ESCOM. You should tell us. We know you are given focus areas there.
yeah, no. When I'm saying for obvious reason, the matter of scope, it was just decided recently, and this has been a plan in advance. So it wouldn't make sense for me to neglect
Can I
that.
take advantage of what we have got a proposal for oversight the first 2 weeks?
Yes.
When we reopen, it's committee weeks, the two of them, that week of the 27th and the next week that ends on the 14th. Those 2 weeks. I think we've done enough work, committee colleagues, since COVID. If there has to be, we've been working 24/7. You remember there were days where we were working almost every day. You remember that, colleagues. So I think it's high time we need to go to the ground and check. We'd already agreed on the type of which priority areas, Shirin. You were taking notes that other day when we were discussing. So can we make sure that before Parliament rises, we do all the proper application? I think then you must use these remaining days to do the codes if there will be financial application, so that by next week we have made all the proper applications, so that when we reconvene on the 27th, this is the 27th of July, post the constituency period, then we know we are going where the committee oversight is then attended to. Any other issue, colleagues? I was thinking also when we do oversight, but I'm subject, if I'm unable to your if you agree, if we'll be going to eThekwini, for instance, like we'll have listened to the Western Cape Provincial Government while we're in eThekwini, can you put a slot for the, what do you call it, KZN province to also come and brief us the way Western Cape will have done that. In our program, we should do that also to tap in, because these cities, they belong to, we need to also understand the view of the provincial government in responding to this. And you must recall, you will recall, colleagues, when we reconvene post the constituency period, we'll be at the peak hour of this pandemic. We'll be at the peak. Ne? So that's why I'm saying we'll follow suit. When we go to Gauteng, the Gauteng provincial government must come and brief us. We'll do our oversight during the day, whatever. Then when we come in the evening, we'll sit like these virtual meetings. Then the Gauteng government must brief us. Or even if it's not virtual, a boardroom, as long as we observe the social distancing, just limited number of people. We won't want people who are accompanying others to just come and sit and not say anything, so that we comply with the social distancing requirements. So
Yeah,
basically, that's what I want us to do.
I fully concur, Chair, because the president this evening has announced that board meetings and conferences are now allowed under strict regulation. So I concur with you. So that will give us a breather on this virtual, because some of us were beginning to get reading classes now.
Okay, because of the visual. Then we're sorted. Shirin, whatever you do, when you go, then don't book venues, because that's what wastes our money. The next thing won't be having a budget. Just ask the provincial government to give you the facility, or that municipality which we are visiting, they can borrow you their council chamber. Then we can utilize that facility to save on the cost and everything. Agreed.
Noted, Chair.
Somebody
Agreed.
who has got a different view, so that we also start to hold this provincial government. It's within our mandate as a committee to do that. Agreed. Any other suggestions, colleagues, towards the oversight? Can you do it in writing and send it to Shirin latest by end of business? In fact, we are meeting tomorrow. Yeah, you should do that when we adjourn the meeting tomorrow, so that the following day Shirin should start to do the applications and all the logistics that are related with Martins to that effect. Agreed?
Agreed, Chair. We're looking forward to Kosili Tuli to host us in KZN.
Oh,
Yeah, you
no.
must put a bride there in your farm.
No problem. Don't even worry about that.
That will be nice.
Don't even worry about that.
Okay, we are sorted.
Was sorted, Chair, was sorted.
And then let me close the meeting formally. I'm forgetting, and I know the reason why you're not leaving. I must do this honors. The members present in this meeting is Honorable Gisela Opperman, Honorable Becky Hadebe, Honorable Inkosi Bilu Tuli, Honorable Khanya Teza, Honorable Megito, and Honorable Silias Brink. Those are the members that are present. Did I omit somebody? Nobody. So I should thank you, colleagues, for your participation as always. The meeting gets adjourned till we meet tomorrow. It's what time? 18 hours. Post the president answering oral replies in Parliament.
Yeah. We missed the commissar, Chair. We missed the commissar. Is she preparing for president tomorrow?
Definitely she might be. I don't know. No, I don't know where she is. We can ask Kaiser where she is. Hey, but
Yeah.
she was on fire today in the house.
Yes.
You were there.
I'm sure
Always
she's
on fire.
I'm sure she's fueling for tomorrow.
She might be tired. And the way she was shouting in the house today, the voice might have gone away on a later note. But we missed the
Please send regards to Commissar Khalib.
Keza will do that. I'll also do this, post this to phone her and find out what happened. Then, colleagues, you must enjoy your evening. Let it be a good night. Till we meet again tomorrow. Take care.
Take care, Chair. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Sure.